the next installment of our Wonder Women of history, in connection with Wonder Woman comics, is Clara Barton. She lived from 1821 to 1912. You should figure out how many years that is. In periods of darkness and despair. What is despair? It's like deep depression, where you feel like you can't get out of unhappiness. The torch of hope has often been carried by women so brave and noble that they can now be called Wonder Women. This is the story of a woman whose daring deeds will shine forever in the pages of history, ministering merciful aid upon bloody battlefields, unafraid of flood and famine and war. This Wonder Woman lived only to help others. Yes, in the glittering firmament of American womanhood, there is one star who will always glow brightest of all. She is Clara Barton, Angel of the Battlefield. That's a pretty impressive intro. Phew, look at that ball travel. Gosh almighty, ain't it ever going to come down? Looks like a couple kids, maybe two boys, talking about this person, and I imagine this was a girl. It almost looks like a dress. And there's the ball, and a stick was this person hitting a ball with a stick, like a baseball almost. And is this a school building? Who is this smiling slip of a girl whose prowess with a bat and ball is causing gaping farm boys to gasp with amazement? What does gaping mean? Gaping would be like, ooh, like they're, in awe of this person. It's none other than, yes, Clara Barton, at the age of 15, already displayed the qualities of leadership destined to make her name a byword to millions of people. Byword would be a word or name that is just known by many. I don't reckon you'll have trouble with us, Miss Barton. No, ma'am. Any girl what hits a ball like you can is the kind of school teacher us fellows have been looking for. In the years to come, Clara Barton's determination made her one of the first women employed by the United States government. Congratulations, Miss Barton. To prove my thanks, I will work hard, sir. I hope to show that women as well as men can serve their country. I wonder what she did for the country. 1861. So this was around the time of the Civil War. The fires of civil war were raging fiercely in America. War wounded soon overflowed the Washington hospitals and had to be placed in government buildings. Poor fellows. Yes, Miss Barton, and what makes it doubly unfortunate is that there aren't enough doctors to take care of them properly. Her heart touched, Clara Barton soon found herself spending more and more time with the wounded. Easy, Jim. This'll make you feel better. Water, water. Even her nights were given to the wounded. And is there anything else you want your wife to know? Yes, write her that Clara Barton is the bravest, most unselfish woman who ever lived, and that my only wonder is when she gets her sleep. Days later, and the Secretary of War has a determined visitor. But Miss Barton, we couldn't possibly permit you on the battlefield. It's too shocking. You're a lady. But I am also a woman. Prompt care will save the lives of many wounded boys. You dare not refuse me. She seems determined, very determined. In her first experience on the battlefield, Clara Barton went 5 days and 5 nights with only 3 hours sleep and was almost captured. You You must be an angel of mercy. When medical supplies couldn't be carried by foot, Clara Barton calmly packed saddlebags, and I told you she'd be here to help us. No wonder she's known as the Angel of the Battlefield. After the war, she unselfishly set out on a heartbreaking search to locate men reported missing. I have found your son's grave. There's some more cursive writing. In 1868, the strain became too great. A year later, this is the result of doing the work of 10. You need rest, and lots of it, Miss Barton. I'll go to Switzerland, Doctor. In Switzerland, she was visited by the President of the International Red Cross. We know of your great work, but can you explain why the United States has failed to join the Red Cross? But Monsieur, Mounier, I know nothing about the Red Cross. We will tell you. Then, in 1864, delegates of 16 nations met in Switzerland and drew up the Geneva Convention, which provided as follows. The Geneva Convention. 1. To hold neutral all hospitals for the wounded. Field hospitals shall not be captured. 2. To hold neutral all persons caring for wounded in hospitals. 3. The word neutral means hospitals are not to be places where war happens, right? I mean, enemies should not attack hospitals, and you shouldn't have to defend a hospital. It's where the wounded goes. It's like base or timeout. Number 3, never to fire on a doctor, nurse, or ambulance bearing the sign of the Red Cross. In other words, that symbol on your clothing would say, I am a neutral person. I'm not against you. I'm not for anything but health and healing and help. Fired with enthusiasm, Clara Barton forgot about rest to watch the Red Cross at work. In 1870, as the Franco-Prussian War raged furiously, the work you are doing is wonderful. I shall return to my country and try to form an American branch of the Red Cross. Thus, brimming with enthusiasm, Miss Barton sailed back to America in the year 1873. However, after reaching Washington, Miss Barton found the sailing to be even rougher than on the seas. But, Senator, you must listen. Red Cross? Never even heard of it. Besides, a woman's place is in the home. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Clara Barton doggedly spoke to other legislators, but without success. Harumph! Sorry, Miss Barton, but I have no time to talk of the Red Cross today. The years were long, the heartaches many, but in the year 1882, Clara Barton tasted triumph. You asked to see me, President Arthur? Yes, I thought you would be happy to learn that I have just signed the Act of Congress aligning the United States with the Geneva Convention. The Red Cross goes on. When others would have rested on their laurels, Clara Barton felt her work had just begun. She originated the American Amendment, providing Red Cross relief in epidemics and calamities, as well as in war. In other words, you didn't have to be warring against another country in order to experience the help of the Red Cross. If there were simply disease or problems, pandemics, epidemics, the Red Cross would step in to help. In 1888, as yellow fever ran riot in Florida, thank heavens your Red Cross is here, Miss Barton. We doctors have more than we can handle. We'll do our best, Doctor. See the symbol of the Red Cross. It was in 1889 that foam flecked waters raced from their banks and brought death and destruction to Johnstown. Among the first of the messengers of mercy was Claire Barton with a Red Cross unit. Bless you, Miss Barton. Wonder if this was a tsunami. I'm unfamiliar with that, but now I want to look it up. And that's how these kinds of stories work. I always want to look into more information. It wasn't until 1904, when Miss Barton was 83 years old, that this indomitable woman, boy, I have to look that up, don't I? Indomitable woman decided to take her first rest. These flowers are a small token of our admiration to one who served as president of the Red Cross for over 20 years. I have only one wish, that I could do it again. And I like to think that the American Red Cross, of which every American should be a member, is a monument to the angel of the battlefield, and that when we put on its glorious badge, we pause a moment in memory of Clara Barton, a Wonder Woman indeed. And here's the signature of Alice Marble.